Everything should be working, I think. Yes, everything is working, and we are live for the first time in a long time now that I am back from vacation. Here we go. Everything is back, and we are back as well, and my chat's not popped out. I lied. Everything was, in fact, not set up. Now everything is set up. Max pinged me. What did Max want? Oh, yeah. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back for another post stream. This time, we actually have a few more storms to talk about compared to last time. Open this. Open. Where did that open? Oh, where's my pen? There's my pen. How's it going, everyone? What's going on, Era? How's it going on, Tamara? Aaron to Tamara. I think I combined those. Oops. Muted? I'm definitely not muted, Will, but thanks for your attempt. Definitely unmuted. I checked that, believe it or not. What's going on, everyone? Wow. We do still have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings here, as well as a tornado warning up in Colorado. I do think this tornado warning is starting to weaken in terms of rotation. In fact, doesn't really look that significant at all, so I wouldn't be surprised if this gets expired here pretty soon. We may see an expansion of that later on, though. But for now, that's not going to happen. Yeah, we can just all spam muted, and sooner or later I'll believe it. Welcome in, everyone, from Max's channel. How's it going? Ooh, not the dreaded keyframe issue again. We love the keyframe issue. How's it going, Paranormal? How's it going, Bob? How's it going, Lynn? How's it going, Easton? Honestly, I think the most interesting storm is probably this one here near Lubbock, Texas. We're probably going to stay live until this makes it through Lubbock. This is the storm that you can see above my head. This is Storm Chaser Tornado Pagey. Now Max told me I'm muted. Look at what you guys have done. Max thinks I'm muted. Christina, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. I am home from vacation now. Finally. How's it going, Banana? I was literally in vacation for Florida. I flew back for 1 day and then flew back out to Florida to help Max. Doge, thanks for the $10 super chat. Can Hugoton definitely bots that. Kansas, go to sleep. Yeah, almost all of Kansas at this point. You are safe to go to sleep. You are in a severe thunderstorm warning here, but these storms are moving off to the south, so yeah, good to go to sleep there. Eventually, these storms are going to pick up speed and become our MCS, more or less, that moves into Oklahoma. We have so many reports, I need to, like, turn some of the reports off so it stops covering all of the screen. Alright, now these are only reports that are less than 1 hour old. But those are probably going to be flooding reports, so that's a roof down. We have some fences knocked down, then of course a flooding report. Lubbock is under a considerable flash flood warning now. We did talk about this earlier, and I said that it's probably going to be upgraded from a base flash flood warning as precipitation continues in the area, and it seems like they did go ahead and upgrade that. In fact, we're probably going to see a extension of this. It expires at 43 minutes, but at least for the northern portion of the Lubbock area, as this stays in or as this next cell comes in and drops more precipitation, we're probably going to see an upgrade to that. By the way, this just got upgraded to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. That's baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in this polygon, unless you want to be hit by a baseball moving at 70 miles per hour, go ahead and take shelter now. Do you see the water spraying above my head, or is that feed frozen? I think that feed's frozen. We try this. We refresh this. I'm actually going to pull this a different way. Boom, bang, bop. Why is this not working? Alright, now it should be working. That's the feed above our head. That is Storm Chaser, Tornado Pagey, and Bryce Shelton. They are in this warning. They're actually right here. You can see their feed in the Radar Omega app. I'm going to mute that just because it tends to be really loud when you click on it. But yeah, that is their feed here. They just actually got added to the Radar Omega app recently. And if you want to go ahead and watch them with us and 40 other people, go ahead and check them out in the Radar Omega app. By the way, there is radar indicated hail on this storm of 2.5 inches. It's warned for baseballs, and I would expect baseballs, but 2.5 is all that it's warned for at this point in time. My chat is being silly. Right there, I fixed it. Can someone tell us what the outlook for Oklahoma is? I can. Let me pull up the latest day one outlook. This was the last day one outlook issued by the Storm Prediction Center. And we can see that we still have this enhanced risk for wind in Oklahoma. This is going to be associated with our system that we see sort of kick off later. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pull that up on Weatherbell. And we can take a closer look at that there. We switch it to Oklahoma. And Max ended Doom. We are no longer going to be bringing everyone together. No more. I forgot to close Zoom. I'm not even going to lie. Sorry, guys. I had to send Max something. What's spring? All right, back to this. Yeah, got to do this still. This is the outlook for tomorrow. Later tonight, you can see we have that MCS, or sort of linear system, kick itself off in Oklahoma. That's why we have that enhanced risk there, because it's definitely going to bring some wind to the area. GEFS model run. Gefs is lame. That's what I call it. Sorry. I feel like every time I go live, there's some random tiny issue that happens after Max's lives, and we just had our issue of the day. So we had to solve that quickly, but I'll fix that now. Now we can keep talking about late weather. We do still have one tornado warning up here in Colorado. This is going to be in effect for another 10 minutes. And this storm continues to look weaker and weaker in terms of rotation. Honestly, I'm more interested on this destructive storm making its way into Lubbock, Texas, and that's why I keep an eye on, or we're keeping an eye on that one. Late tornado warning? Not a late tornado warning, just a tornado warning. Why do these lights make me look so white, bro? Oh, I know why. We're gonna have to run like that today. Interstate Chief, thanks so much for the $20. I have a quick question. I've been a chef, now trucker. I've been fascinated by weather the entire time. In your meteorological studies, is studying atmospheric science and hydrology a good way to go? Well, it depends. If you're trying to get a job at like the NWS, you need that meteorology degree. But I personally am going to school for hydrology and water resources. But if you want a more just generalized knowledge of weather, you honestly don't need to go to college for that. You can literally teach yourself most of what's interesting about weather off of YouTube. And I mean, that's what I did. That's how I got where I am now, is just consuming YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video. Also, there's great resources like MetEd online, which is basically like free college classes for meteorology. So take advantage of those. How's it going, Root? Chemtrails have been causing all this radical weather? Oh, 100%, without a doubt. Chemtrails are not a thing, for the record. There's always the one person. That's what we need. We need a chemtrails t-shirt. Raise awareness. Interstate Chief or Chef, if you want to shoot me a DM on either Twitter or Discord, I can send you some of the resources I use too. I thought they said cat trails. Honestly, that'd be just as believable. Will you be live at 4 a.m. for the Oklahoma storms? Most likely not. But I don't want to say I won't be, because then there's going to be some tornado emergency and I'm going to have to go live. W stream for crashing up here. That makes no sense. Why is this not working? Might have to do this. Always another option, right? Oop. Unfortunately, this is a greatly delayed option compared to the viewing option I normally use, but for some reason VLC Media Player doesn't want to work today. But yeah, that is Storm Chaser, Tornado Pagey, and Bryce Shelton above my head. They are on this storm right here near Shallow Water, Texas, and it's heading into Lubbock, producing baseball-sized hail, hence the destructive tag. I didn't even realize he was live. Who was live? Me? By the way, guys, I forgot to mention this. Literally the second I went live, we hit 27,000 subscribers. We're up to 27,209. So W's in the chat for 27,000 subscribers. How did Max and I become friends? I'm pretty sure the first place we talked was Twitter DMs. I just slid into his DMs. Do you play Twisted? I do sometimes. There's freaking mosquitoes in here. Pardon my language, but mosquitoes are annoying. Got it. No more mosquito. You have any predictions, guesses about 4 a.m. Oklahoma storms? Honestly, I could see a widespread line of destructive and or considerable severe thunderstorms going through the area. You're considered hydrometeorology. I didn't even know that was an option, to be honest. And, no. Come to the Delta. We got mosquitoes that will haunt you. You know, everyone always says they have bad mosquitoes. I've still never seen mosquitoes like what we get in Minnesota. Like, everyone from Minnesota knows that mosquitoes are the state bird. And it's just, they're terrible here. What do you think of the tornado warning cell? I mean, there's rotation on it, but it's pretty broad, and I would expect it to probably be canceled in 3 minutes. Got another flooding report out of Lubbock, by the way. It's not on Radar Mega yet for some reason, but another water rescue ongoing. By the way, I'm going to draw it in now, and we're going to try and pre-fire the actual warning getting issued. But I would expect another severe thunderstorm warning, probably something like this, within the next few minutes. Actually, how long has this one got left on it? 17 minutes? All right. I'm going to draw the exact same polygon the NWS is going to draw. We ready for this? That's a terrible attempt at drawing the polygon they're going to draw. I was cooking, and then it wasn't cooking. You know what? I thought the polygon I drew was big. I thought the one I drew was too large. They just blew my polygon out of the water. Wow. You know what, guys? You know, I'm gonna try again. Ready? See how accurate I can be now. Oh my God! Look at that. Perfect. They're watching the stream. Yeah, they were watching. They said, "All right." He thinks that's gonna be the polygon. Watch this. I think we're about to have quite the amazing shelf cloud above my head here in a second. Hopefully within 5. I don't know how far behind this feed is. Let the camera zoom in and focus real quick. That is a shelf cloud. And actually, I'm going to do this, and we're going to go full screen to this. So this is a look at Storm Chaser Tornado Pages feed right now. I'm also going to put this back over here. But this is a massive shelf cloud entering the Lubbock area right now. Oh, that didn't work. But yeah, they're right here, guys. This is literally moving into Lubbock right now. So if you're in Lubbock and you want to see a amazing looking shelf cloud, look outside now before it's not safe to do so. The contrast is wild. Alleged, I do my best to answer Discord DMs. Sometimes I get busy and I'm not able to answer all of them. But if you message me during a downtime, I will definitely respond. By the way, they just canceled that tornado warning and we're back to late tornado possible. How many screens do you look at? I have 4. And they're all divided into like 40 different sections. I wonder. Boom. Bang. Look at that. Can listen to it. This is our storm near Radar Omega. Yeah, this is our storm near Radar Omega. No, this is our storm near Lubbock, Texas. I don't want to look at anything else besides what I'm looking at right now. Can you see chat? Yes, I can. I can see you, Mark. I want a pizza. I would love a pizza right now. You're in the county of Radar Scope. Man, we don't need to start this now. Baseball, this is the storm that is rolling into Lubbock. This is what it looks like on radar. 1 second, let me mute the audio here. This is what this storm looks like on radar. Honestly, it's nothing too significant. There's not really any rotation on it, nor is the environment conducive to produce a tornado. Nonetheless, it is still a strong thunderstorm. It is a considerable thunderstorm for both lime-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. This storm is probably going to in and around the Lubbock area for the next hour. Raina, thanks so much for the $3 super chat. Abigail, thanks for the $5 Cash App. What's your favorite pizza? Pepperoni. Guys, take a look at this definitely not suspicious looking NATOcast outlook for tomorrow. We got whatever the heck that is. Got a 5% here, a 5% there, another 5% there. Avocado? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Honestly, this is a decent sized NATOcast outlook. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It looks amazing. Wisconsin, yeah, you can definitely go to sleep. How's it going, Becky? That's enough of that. Let's go back to the storm. Will, you'd be right. Guys, it clearly looked like a golf hole now. Come on. How's Miami, Oklahoma? Miami, Oklahoma, you guys are chilling. Yeah, there's some very weak rotation on this storm that was tornado warned. I believe it went mostly outflow dominant here. It's also competing with the environment the environment with the storm to its southeast. So you can see the dew point temperature spreads are 1 degree with 62 over 61 in Elkhart, Kansas. That is not a good environment in terms of tornado potential. And that's almost the same thing that we're looking at here in Lubbock, Texas. Obviously, the temperatures are a bit higher just because it's warmer down here. It's further to the south, closer to the equator. 59 or 69, 61. This is not how warm we would need it to be in order for it to produce tornadoes. So that is a really good thing that we should be done with our tornado threat for the rest of the day. Max velocity. Sorry. I was talking to max velocity, so I had to say max velocity out loud. In that latest radar scan, this storm is quickly jumping into the Lubbock area. Lubbock is your last second to lock in and protect your property from those 70-mile-per-hour winds and a 2-inch sized hail. What does Max want now? $12 quintillion. No. Yeah, everyone wants 12 quintillion. Like, come on now. I wonder. Oh no, they're done for the day. Tell Max to get dinner. Max, get dinner. I don't know if he's gotten dinner yet. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm pretty sure he hasn't eaten. For the record, guys, part of these areas out here have already seen wind gusts over 100 mile per hour today. That's pretty windy, if I'd say so myself. You ordered Buffalo Wild Wings? Should order at Wingstop from the strip mall. It's 2025 and Pettis is still not mod. World peace continues. Riley, what type of job will you have once you graduate? Hopefully you're looking at it. Riley spelled tornado, lay tornado. Crazy misspelling. I wonder what it looks like in Lubbock. Luckily, we have a tornado chaser there. Wow. Bro, look at this. This feed and the feed over there are not in the same spot. I am not in Florida. I'm in Wisconsin. Did someone ask what the weather was in Hawaii? You guys are chilling. No tornadoes there today? Irene, welcome in from Lubbock. Hopefully you are prepared for a severe thunderstorm in that area. By the way, guys, the one thing I do want to point out is obviously the severe thunderstorm warning has a lot of extra area down here, and that is because the outflow of this storm will be producing very strong winds. It looks like a hook. It's definitely a clickbait hook. It is not a tornadic hook. You've been wearing your Supercell t-shirt? Mine's behind me somewhere, I think. I like started cleaning my entire setup this morning, and then we went live, and I haven't touched it since, and I have stuff everywhere. Central Illinois, you guys should be good for the next few days. How many tornadoes do you think we're going to get tomorrow? At least 3. By the way, I don't know how long you guys have been tracking the storms today. We had an insane amount of storms today. Or not storms, tornadoes today. This is the, oh, I managed to somehow lose the Google window. All right, there. This is what the storm reports look like for today. These are the unfiltered reports. We had 25 separate tornado reports. 1 of those in Arizona. About 5 of them in New Mexico. 1 in Kansas, and the rest of those in Texas. This one storm alone in Texas had 22 separate tornado reports on it. Obviously, some of those got condensed down, and they determined that only 21 of those tornado reports were legitimate and not copycats. But that means we had 1 in Arizona, 1 in Kansas, 1 down in very southern New Mexico, and then our storm up here in Texas produced what they believe is up to 28 separate tornado reports. Not 28. 18. 18, not 28. Quick math. W. Subtracted 3 and forgot to change the 2. Wow. Will you be covering Atlantic hurricane season? Absolutely. You know, I can see during hurricane season like a situation where I'm live for like a good amount of time, and then Max is live for a good amount of time. Like we might just go for like that nice 78 hours straight hurricane coverage. Because hurricanes are like the one storm you can do that. We can just sit here and camp. We can just sit here and camp aircraft observations. I love doing that. We did that, I think it was for Milton. We literally sat here for like 4 hours straight, just waiting for the plane to fly back through the eye of the hurricane and be like, oh wow, it dropped another 947 millibars. Oh, how did it get unmuted somewhere? Where is this unmuted? There, it's unmuted. Bang, we found it. There, it's working again. I'm hoping the hurricane hunters don't get affected by any of the budget cuts, because my lord, if I couldn't watch planes fly back and forth into hurricanes all day, I'd be pissed. We are probably done with tornadoes. Oh, excuse me. Probably done with tornadoes for the day. At least here in central Texas and our 10 hatched. Could see a few Could see a few QLCS spin-ups further up here to the north, where we have our 5%. Or if Connor's still alive. He is. I think Connor may be going for the storm here near Spur. If he gets to that storm, we might pull him up. We'll see. Good night, TJ. What are the risks for St. Louis tomorrow? We'll talk about the risks in a little bit once we get a few more model runs. That'll be the last. We'll make sure we get to that. That'll probably be the last thing we do, as per usual, before before we disappear for the night. Oh, audio came back on. Sorry to blow everyone's ears out. The audio just started. Hey, time to make rain noise. Get a buzz cut? Absolutely not. Risk for mosquitoes in Riley's bedroom? Unfortunately, probably a moderate. Guys, I got these things from Wendy's because TikTok said that they taste like the old Cinemelts that McDonald's had, and they do in fact not. Good night, Chris. Dude, thanks so much for the $2 donation. Too much huzz for a buzz? What in the world? I was drinking for like 12 seconds and I saw 4 questions I wanted to answer. A, Choctaw, Oklahoma. You guys are looking at probably a little bit of wind coming through later tonight. B, are tornadoes that are more frequent, or are tornadoes now worse and more frequent? I don't actually think tornadoes are any more frequent than they used to be. I think they're just better documented now. So, because they're better documented, we see more of them. Is that a Stanley Cup? Yeah, it definitely is. I actually have 2 of them right here. Nope, didn't even see both of them. I'll drink about 4 of these on an average stream night. Doge, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Southwest Kansas, yeah, you're good to go to bed. I think I saw your chat earlier, or at least I saw someone. And they said that they were in Hugoton. That may have been you. If that was you, yeah, you're definitely good to go to sleep. You need stickers for your cups? Dude, I don't want to put stickers on them. They're so pretty by themselves. Can you do the gritty? No. By the way, this severe thunderstorm warning has been upgraded to a tennis ball sized hail. 2.5-inch hail. It's pretty large. Do you have a tennis ball? Dang, I thought I might have a tennis ball on call. Wow, look, tennis. This isn't a tennis ball, but this is a football. Close enough, right? This is definitely 2.5-inch hail. This looks like 2.5 inches to me. Still 70-mile-per-hour winds on that, too. Pretty soon, we're probably going to see reports coming out of this area. Refrigerator-sized hail? That's light work. Can hail be as big as a soccer ball? I think the biggest hailstone ever recorded was smaller than a soccer ball. I don't actually know how big a soccer ball is. I'm going to keep it a buck. Was Max standing on a stool when y'all took that photo? Yeah. He was on, like, you know those, like, 6-foot stilts? Yeah, that's what he was on. Yeah, Frank, Max is asleep now. Max isn't asleep. Max is working on other stuff. Doge, thanks so much for the $10 super chat. What's the worst tornado outbreak? I mean, I think saying worst is kind of rude in my opinion. Just because, like, tornado outbreaks and who they impact are so subjective. So, I think the worst in recent history, at least that I experienced and was around for, not experienced, but existed on this earth during, was 4/27/2011. You've probably heard of it. The mega super killer storm of the century. I don't even know what the meme says, but you could look in them updraft helicity tracks. You can look at that STP and it'd be terrible. 4/27/2011. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning continues still for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and a tennis ball-sized hail expires in 38 minutes. We're almost getting to the point where I can attempt to draw an NWS polygon again and see how accurate I am. I'm gonna go with something a little bit like this time. Probably gonna pull out some massive thing again. I wouldn't say Joplin was the worst tornado. I think it was definitely a significant one. I think the biggest problem associated with Joplin was just how quickly it went from something or nothing to something. I don't know if I have it on this computer. Let me see. Don't think I have it on my laptop. Somewhere I have the radar data from the Joplin tornado. But I don't have that at this moment in time because it's on my laptop. So when I get my laptop, I can actually show you guys that radar data. So next stream, remind me to show you the Joplin radar data and we can look at that. I also have Mayfield. I also have the Tri-State tornado. I have all sorts of radar data on my laptop. Why? Because why not? I legitimately have, like, I think it's 125 gigabytes of old tornado radar scans. Is it on a website? It is. They do have a radar archive. I still have this football in my hand. They do have a radar archive online. However, I just have them, like, downloaded. Do you have Rolling Fork? I think I have Rolling Fork as well. I wonder. This damage survey of the Joplin tornado. This is by the National Weather Service, so we can actually show you all the images in this. I'm gonna go ahead and drag it over here because it's broken right now. And it just crashed. Never mind, we're not gonna look at that apparently. There's some way to look at historical radar data on this. I'm trying to find it. Think you get a radar? Nope. Oh, there it is. Historical data from. I guess I can't go back past 2023. Never mind, I lied. Kind of annoying. I wanted to show that radar data. Still tennis ball size hail. Near Lubbock, by the way. Bridge Creek, I don't know. That's like the strangest tornado ever to me, just because there's so many people who know so many details about specifically the Bridge Creek tornado. Yeah, I have GR2. I just don't really want to download the data from it right now. Radar archives. Unless there's enough people here. You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to run a poll. All right. Interstate Chief, or Chef, God, I did it again. Interstate Chef, thanks for the $20 super chat. Thank you for your weather updates and your commitment to providing updates. You, Max, I share that with my company and drivers. Per company policy now, no trucks are allowed to park under overpasses. That is the greatest policy I've ever heard. All companies should have that policy. Thanks so much for the $20 super chat. I just started a tutorial. If we get at least like 66% of people saying that we should do a tutorial on how to download and view radar data, we'll do that. I want to wait till we're at like at least 100 to 200 votes. Right now, it seems like we'll definitely be doing that. We're at 82% with 79 votes. So if you guys haven't voted on that poll yet, go ahead and open the chat, click that poll, and vote now. 114, 121, 145, 149. All right. It is now statistically impossible for us to not want that tutorial. So let me start pulling stuff up. I'm going to end that poll once it hits 200 as well. There, 200. Here we go. I have to remember what site it's on. This actually might be a new site. Ah, this is the one I want. Yeah. So this is the NCIE's radar data site. Every single radar site you could possibly ever want to look at the data from is on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to select by map, and we're going to select the Springfield radar site. That is the one that is closest to Joplin, of course. Then we're going to choose the date. So the date was, I believe it was May. So 5, and then 22. And then the time, or the year, was 2011. And then the time is in, the time is in GMT, unfortunately. So we need to go, I believe the tornado occurred around 22:30. We're going to go 21 to 24. Then we're going to order the data. It wants my email address, so I'm going to move it out of the way. Order that with my email address. I'm going to download that. This is all of those radar data. Oh wow, I think this is a lot more than what I ordered. And this is all of the scans on the Joplin day. Guys, interrogation files just dropped 50 gifted subs. I need 500 million W's in the chat for interrogation files dropping 50 gifted. If you guys got a sub from interrogation files, you guys need to thank him. Guys, that's crazy. Interrogation files, as always, here every single stream. Thank you so much for the 50 gifted subs. All right. Looking at these again, so you just like click on the scans you want, the radar scans you want. Then let me open GR2 here. This is GR2. Then you just quite literally find them on your computer. Oop, I got 4 duplicates. Let me delete these duplicates. And then you just drag these in. There are still people receiving memberships. Alright guys, so this is, I only need 2 panels for this because we didn't have that much radar. So this is the, Will, we can stop. Will has easily sent like 10,000 W's. So this is the Joplin tornado. This is the reflectivity and the velocity just on it. I'm gonna slap not current. On the bottom of the screen, just so we don't scare anyone who may be from Joplin. But yeah, you just literally drag these in to was there another one, bro? No way. There was another one. That is 100 gifted memberships from interrogation files. Guys, now we need 100 million quintillion billion in the radar in the chat. That is 100 gifted subs. Wait, was that interrogation files or was that someone else? Dude, my chat can't even keep up anymore. I think USMC 3500 might have gifted the second 50. Bro. 50 gifted by 2 different people. What in the world? Guys, if you got a gifted sub, make sure you thank someone. About like 20. Let me see. About 2% of the people in this chat just got gifted subs. More or less. That is insane. Basically, everyone who's active in chat just got subscribed to the channel. Back to the Joplin radar again. So this is a Joplin right here. Can't even believe that happened. I keep getting distracted. I don't even know what to say. Like, literally every time we're live. Wild. This is Joplin here. And this is the storm that goes on to produce the tornado. So this one, the storm to the north, was actually tornado warned for a different tornado. And then this storm moving towards Joplin suddenly starts to look a lot better. You can kind of see it right here. We get that observed tornado warning issued. This is moving towards Joplin, but this does not look like that significant of a tornado. Unfortunately, it's also in the range folding area of the radar, so you can't really see that. Was this today? I think these might be old reports. Honestly, don't even know when those reports are from. But yeah, these are definitely from Joplin Day. I didn't even know that they had old tornado reports in here. And honestly, or obviously, you can look at this couplet and be like, oh my god, this is a little bit stronger than what we thought the rotation was going to be. Clearly. And unfortunately, it occludes right into the town of Joplin. You can see it right here. This is all debris on radar. And there is your velocity couplet as this tornado heads into Joplin. This is perhaps the combination of 2 of the most well-known radar scans in history. This is what it looks like the next. And you can see it here. This was the survey from the Joplin tornado. I'm going to move it over here just so you guys can see what it looked like on reflectivity. 122 fatalities, 750 different injuries from this tornado. EF5 tornado of wind speeds of 200 miles per hour. And these are some of the most well-known radar scans, I think, in all of radar. Are right after this tornado, unfortunately, went right through the town of Joplin, Missouri. Once again, not current. But yeah, you can still see the damage scars from this tornado in Joplin today. For the person who was asking where you put the radar files, you literally, if you have GR2, you quite literally just drag them into the GR2 app. Just select them all and drag them. I honestly don't know if you can do that in Radar Mega. I don't think you can. But that's how you do it in Radar Mega, at least. Someone just... My phone is broken? W? Yeah, by the way, guys, the gifts are random. Unfortunately, you can't, like, send targeted gifted memberships. Are we almost up to 1,000 likes on the live stream? We are at 962 likes on today's stream. So almost at 1,000. We're hitting all the milestones today. Yeah, the Moore, Oklahoma tornado is definitely one of the stronger ones. I also have on my laptop El Reno. All this wonderful radar data I have, and none of it that we can have access to right now. By the way, this did get downgraded to ping pong ball size hail. Still definitely a considerable severe thunderstorm warning because of the 70-mile-per-hour winds, so definitely be paying attention to it. But less considerable. I honestly think it could be producing hail larger than that right now. By the way, we did just hit 1,000 likes. We're already up to 1,065. Just got that another massive chonker of a severe thunderstorm warning. This is no longer a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, now warned for 1.5-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Got more damage reports, I think. We got a Weather Prediction Center discussion. A Met Watch. Why is it so small? 1.5 to 3 inches of rain possible in northern Oklahoma. That would lead to quite the significant severe thunderstorm. Quite the significant flash flooding event. Can I have him? Guys, we have the cat. Fine now. And he's trying to get away, but I'm not gonna let him. Stay right here. Or do you want him back? Daily, or I guess not daily, but every stream cat viewing. Was he sleeping? He's like 12 million degrees. He smells like he was sleeping too. I actually have been in the tornado warning on Max's stream at least. And I've also been in the tornado warning obviously on our storm chasing live streams. Tornado possible in Oklahoma. Is that our tornado possible warning that we have? Let's go ahead and use this list to find our tornado possible warning. There's a tornado possible in Kansas, and that looks like it's about it. Only that one tornado possible warning. We do have considerable here in northern panhandle of Oklahoma for tennis ball sized hail. Trying to run. Wow, that's not nice. How rude. He doesn't like it when I talk too much. Like, can you just be quiet? This is honestly still the most interesting severe thunderstorm warning that we have. Why does it say I have poor connection again? YouTube Studio hates me, I swear. Oh, and it's frozen. I think it's lying to me because it says that we're not live, but it seems like we're still live. Yeah, we're definitely still live. Don't trust YouTube Studio. It lies. Trying to set something up here. Alright, I think that's set up. Yeah, we're getting an MCS like system up here. All of these are gonna congeal into a line and just shoot off. I don't think it's proper MCS, but it definitely has the effects and the look of one. Before we start wrapping things up here, let's go through all of our SPC outlooks. So this is the outlook for the remainder of the night still. We do still have two of our enhanced risks. Tomorrow we have a very large goldfish-like flight risk, as well as a little tiny one in parts of Massachusetts. After that, it starts getting a little less frequent. But or a little less predictable. We do have a large categorical slight risk for a lot of different places on Saturday. And then going out further into the future, we have a double barrel slight risk on our day 4, which is strange because normally you don't see 2 different areas that they're confident enough to talk about. But we have that here in Texas and as well as in the East Coast. Damn. I was gonna raid Connor Croft and he just ended his live stream. RIP. Well, I guess we're not gonna be doing that. Better take that out of the redirect. I was literally wrapping up so I'd be able to raid him before we ran out of time to do so, and then we ran out of time to do so. I don't think there's any other storm chasers that are live right now. I think they all wrapped it up. Tulsa area, yeah, you're looking at your storms around 3 to 5 a.m. I would imagine there's going to be at least 1 or 2 storm chasers on there. Probably not that many, though. Text, I've never heard of Supercell WX. So I don't want to say anything about it. Is SRM still live? Let me check. Stormrunner Media is done. Literally, I don't see anyone I know that's still live. Tornado Page ended. Connor ended. Freddy ended. I think everyone's done. Yeah, it's shocked. Nobody's live. Brandon Kopic, I don't think's live. We're just gonna have to send it to the sound of silence when we wrap it up. Does Max or did even live stream during tornado and hurricanes in his area? Max live streams literally anything when it's happening, no matter where it is. Amarillo, you guys are not cooked. You might have some gusty winds there, but definitely not cooked by any means. I do think the tornado threat is cooked. We went live with 1 tornado warning up here in Colorado, but that has been allowed to expire a long time ago. So we're probably going to wrap it up here. We just hit 20,000 views on today's live stream as well. We'll do one more tour of the storms we have going on. So we have this 1 storm south of Fort Stockton, as per usual, just messing stuff up and hailing there. Flash flood warnings in the area due to mostly stationary convection. This dying hailstorm that we had go through Lubbock, as well as a couple of ones around it. All these are on the downtrend. These storms basically from Clovis to Amarillo along Highway 60 are also most likely on the downtrend. However, they will likely be severe. These storms, however, are not on the downtrend. They're starting to congeal more into a line and will pose a severe threat. I would imagine pretty soon we're going to get a severe thunderstorm watch for a majority of this area. So have a way to receive warnings. You're probably not going to see a tornado warning if you're in that area for tonight, but just in case, you need to make sure that you have a way to receive those warnings. It's not a tornado siren or your cell phone. Something like a weather radio would be perfect. We also have this lone flash flood warning up here in New York. I somehow doubt we have any people in that flash flood warning who are watching, but if you are, go ahead and take shelter. And we have another one in California. I also doubt that we have anyone watching in this flash flood warning. But I guess don't take shelter if you're in those. Seek higher ground, actually. Taking shelter during your thunderstorm warning or flash flood warning is normally not a good thing. you're in any of these warnings, you do not have to pull an all-nighter. Just make sure you have a way to receive warnings. And with that being said, the other thing that is not going to be pulling an all-nighter is me, because we have to be live again tomorrow, or I guess we get to be live again tomorrow, talking about even more storms that are going to be a lot more significant than they are right now. So I will see you guys when that happens tomorrow. But until then, thank you so much for the support today. Once again, USMC 3500 and Interrogation Files. Thank you so much for the 50 gifted memberships to each of you, as well as all the other people who may have donated through Cash App or via chat. That's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow.